I'm doing my first curriculum review, or how to use this or implement this in your homeschool. I want to go ahead and take the stuff that I've used for homeschooling beforehand, as well as the stuff that I've used for teaching, and just help you to implement this into your homeschool and really just get you going is my goal tonight. This particular curriculum has a ton of information in it, which I am definitely not going to go through a lot of it. I will hit some key points in it so that you can get going, but I would really suggest reading through it as the information is really good. So with that, I will show you which one I'm using. I'm talking tonight about Spell to Write and Read by Wanda Sansari and The Wise Guide for Spelling by Wanda Sansari. I've gotten a lot of questions about this particular curriculum. Several people have gone to conferences and just felt overwhelmed and what do I do? And then even just people who've gone to, the curriculum fairs and just weren't sure what to do with it. It's a great curriculum. So I really want to help you just get to a jumping off point and get going. Some of you may also have bought the Writing Road to Reading. I love this curriculum, and it was the curriculum that I started with. I love the concepts, I love the phonograms and the spelling rules and everything about it. However, I found that I would end up spending, several hours just to come up with 1 week spelling list. And I don't know, maybe other people had better experiences with it, but it just for me did not outline a lesson plan well enough. And I did it. My daughter learned all of it through that book. However, I was so excited when I was introduced to this curriculum, the Spell to Write and Read, because she has taken the Spalding program and has actually put out lists and lesson plans and which phonograms to use and how to use the phonograms and step by step by step. Now, both curriculums have a ton of information. Both curriculums have ways that they feel that it really should be done. Even the 100 Easy Lessons that I talked about in the kindergarten program has specific ways. You're going to find that every curriculum has a very specific way that it has to be done. And I'm not trying to put those things down at all. Again, my goal is to just get you going and then point you back in the direction of please read that. It's good information and you'll learn a lot too, and that's the beautiful thing about this. But when we're trying to just get going, sometimes it can be too much to have to read so many different curriculums and try to get going. So, I am going to be using notes on this particular video because I've got a lot to share with you. And I want to make sure that I hit all the high points as best as I can. This is the preschool to kindergarten portion of the Spell to Write and Read. I talked to you already in the preschool to kindergarten outline about read. We want them reading as much as possible. Read to them a lot. Obviously, they're not reading yet. But then I also pointed you in the direction of teach your child to read in 100 Easy Lessons. This is just going to get them reading. I showed you how to modify that in the 100 Easy Lessons video, which the sound at the moment is actually off, and we'll get that fixed really soon. Do your 1 week library visits. I outlined a method again in the kindergarten video, and we'll be doing a separate video just on that because everybody I've talked to about that method is so excited to hear it. So I am going to do a separate video. It will be free, and you can totally see what I'm talking about in there. But just get your child reading as fast as you can. Start doing the phonograms with them immediately, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But really focus on the preschool to kindergarten years on, playing with blocks with letters and playing with magnet letters and writing in rice and just doing all of that stuff. In step 3 of the Spell to Write and Read, they have a lot of pre-reading exercises, pre-writing exercises. Go through those with your kids at that age and just play with them. Don't push them to go further. Just play with it. And then when you really can tell that they're ready, go on and move on to the next step, which I have outlined again in the kindergarten program. All right? But you're really going to want to just focus at this point on the single letter phonograms. You can point out the multi-letter phonograms after you've kind of helped them to know these single letter ones really well. Start to point out the double ones, like in their reading. If you do start a short, a spelling list, which you really shouldn't do till pretty close to the very end unless your child is extremely advanced. I know we all want to think that, but really try to not push them too much. But you can go ahead and start pointing those out to them without formally doing the phonogram cards with them or having them write them or anything like that. So just really focus on that. And then also, start the teaching of the cursive. Again, you're going to be using rice to start with, writing the cursive in the air, writing it on a desk or a whiteboard. And then you can also then teach them how to properly hold an expo marker, and they can write it big on the whiteboard. Once they've kind of moved from there, you can actually show them how to use a pencil and do it on paper. And I would say once they're on paper, go for it and do a spelling list with them. So do all of that. Make sure that you don't push them again. I'll say it again. And go ahead and start with the spelling list at that time. And the other thing is, once they're reading words more quickly, go ahead and just get them going with readers. Read chorally with them, pointing to words as you go, because we're going to show you in the spelling how to sound out the words. The 100 Easy Lessons is also going to show them how to read, and you want to read chorally with them. That means you reading with them so that they still remember to continue to go through the words. Model inflection for them. That means the up and the down in your voices, so it's interesting. And just give them that chance to hear you and say it with you, and they're gonna do awesome. So just get them really familiar with words. And then as you start doing the spelling words, it's going to be tempting to want to go through and start doing the spelling rules like flashcards. I would highly recommend not doing that. There again is some debate on whether you should go ahead and start listing off the spelling rules as facts, and you can do that, but through the grammar stages, which actually goes, depending on where you go, up to the 4th grade, they're going to get a lot of experience with the spelling rules. More than likely, they're going to get all of them. If you find, for some reason, way out there in 4th grade, that there's some spelling rules that they haven't gotten, and in my experience, they should. I've taught all the way up to 6th grade in spelling, and I'm pretty sure they get them all by 4th grade. But if they don't, go ahead and introduce that one and teach it separately. Otherwise, bring up the spelling rules as they come along. And I think the best reason for that is just the fact that they apply it immediately to the word that they're using it on, instead of using it as a separate rule and not necessarily seeing it with a word. To me, it just seems way too abstract and pulling two completely different brain functions out. Yes. Okay, so there you go. And so the other thing to do when you are introducing the rules is to give them a little bit of rhythm, and I will show you that a little bit in this video. Because this is preschool to kindergarten, I'm not even going to go through too many of the rules. You really probably are only going to get at the furthest. In the book it says you can get through A through I. I guess if you're teaching them right away and really pushing them through. At the school we were at, we said get through C, because we really want to give them the opportunity to not be pushed too quickly. I would just say see where you get, but I don't think you're going, hopefully you're not going to get too far in kindergarten, again, like I said, unless they're really advanced. So let me bring my daughter up here. She's going to help me to show you how to dictate the words. She has done this since 1st grade, and now she is going into 6th grade, so she's got a lot of experience with this. If your child is sitting down and you are ready for them to dictate the word, have them do what we call popcorn out of their seat. This will wake them up and get them ready to do this. So if they're kind of starting to doze off or whatever, it also just gives them some movement, which is really good. You can have them stomp the syllable breaks, but we just do a clap. Just try and get them moving a little bit. We want them chanting and all of that stuff. So I am going to do the first 2 words from the A spelling list. So, Bianca, please spell top. Top. 1 syllable word. Top. Please spell top.
Top. 1 syllable word. First syllable top. T-O-P.
How about first letter top? T.
T-O-P. Markings, no markings.
Yep, and then we ask markings. If there's a double letter phonogram, multi-letter phonogram, or a spelling rule, that's when we'll have markings. But you'll hear that she said no markings. There are no markings in top. And I said that I was going to do the first 2. I'm actually going to skip so that you at least see 1 with markings. So the next word is. 1 syllable word. Is. Please spell is.
Is. 1 syllable word. First letter I, S. Markings.
Markings.
Well,
is this saying is?
No.
The first sound of S?
No.
Or is it saying is?
Is.
The second sound of S. So we put a 2 above it because it's saying its second sound. Good. And that is how you dictate. Thank you, Bianca. You can go have a seat, my lovely assistant. You can see that I wrote the word in 1 color and I used another color to do the markings. When they are writing in their learning log, you can either have them just get out like a colored pencil, or you can have them put it into, excuse me, I just lost my train of thought. You can either have them do it in pencil all the way through and mark it in pencil above, or if you want to do the separate color, I think it's a little bit less confusing. Just have them do it with like a pen, which would be the only time you'd use a pen at this age, or a color pencil that's good and sharp. So, alright, that is it for now. I will go ahead and we will be doing separate phonogram chanting videos. I outlined that already in the kindergarten program, so I'm not going to go through that at this very moment, but I will do probably 1 quick run through with the phonograms in a separate video. So I don't want to go through that at this time. In the next video, I will be going 1st through 3rd. Alright, bye!